Um, but I wanted to go there, and I want to have and gain consensus around which option we're going to support as a board. And for a couple different reasons. I want to give you a little bit of background on why. The first one is, as I talked about it before with Rachel and a couple different communities, I went out to, and I probably have talked to close to 100 kids by now about what they want. What is it that you guys are looking for as a student body? What's important to you? How many years have you been in the district? What have you done? Those kind of topical conversations. We sat, had lunch with two different groups, one at the middle school, one at the high school, and then just random walking around talking to kids. So it was important for me to get a stake. Obviously, that's our stakeholders, our main clients, without exception. There was initial conversation about, well, you know what, I'm sick and tired of eating outside. There was a lot of that, I'm going to be honest with you. They really did not want to eat outside anymore. That was one of the concerns that they had. And I said, well, if you had to put it in terms of priority, what would it be? Would you rather eat indoors on a regular basis, or would you rather have new science labs, new classrooms, new facilities to be able to support those two things? Unanimously, each and every one of the students that I talked to, even though they initially mentioned they wanted to eat indoors or play basketball in a gym or whatever that may be in that facility, chose to have new classrooms. For me, that was quite a bit encouraging, in that they really wanted a music room. They really wanted a new Culinary Arts room, classroom space, bio labs, chem labs, places they could do art, things like that, and a regular high school curriculum. In addition to that, as Lillian can attest to, she's on our bond oversight committee. I also addressed the bond oversight committee, and we had a meeting finally. We had, of the 7 folks that are on that committee, 6 of them showed up, so that was a great day for us. We actually had a meeting. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the bond oversight committee, after listening to each of the options that we talked about and you have here, chose E as well. They wanted classrooms. They even though one of our committee members came into that meeting thinking gym, thinking this is the area that I really wanted to take a look at. And when I first came in, that's what I was thinking. But now as I leave this meeting, I think it's critical and important that we define our school, and the school should be defined by classrooms. And again, if I've characterized that incorrectly, she is the one that keeps the minutes in our meetings, so she's the secretary. But that, I felt, again, was compelling to me.
The 3 students that participated are Aubrey Boswell, Melissa Stell, and Mary Ajungo. Mary was participating for Culinary Arts. Aubrey was for Professional Actor, and Melissa was for Stagecraft Technology. All 3 of them have never had jobs before or ever been on an interview, and this was a really good opportunity to prepare and learn what the process of a job interview is like, learn how to build a resume, and fill out a job application, which are all the things, the criteria that they were judged on. And when I went through and reviewed their score sheets, majority of the marks were exemplary. So they did very well, and I think that it's, very important to recognize them, because I know that it was a lot of work and a lot of time put into going through the competition.
So let's call forth Melissa first. Melissa, if you could come up, and Mrs. Rocha, if you could come up, and Mr. Wagner, please come up and help us.
Remind me of the section, the article section. Oh,
on a lot of different topics. And specific to the district, we wanted to honor Kathy for this year's recipient of the 2012 Golden Apple Award. This prestigious award is designed to recognize our outstanding service to the district, students, and communities of Akron and AADUSD. She's done so much. I would be here for 20 minutes talking about some of her accomplishments and some of the ways she's helped our district. And let me just give you a couple of the quick examples, and I'm sure the board would say, well, what about this? And what about? Absolutely. It goes on and on and on. And I personally want to honor your work and honor what you've done for the district in quite a few ways. Obviously, with the Friends of the Library, you've helped us specifically with the SAT test and the celebrations, and all the other things that you have done through the Friends of the Library have been significant. You spearheaded recent events, and we're privileged to participate. Our kids were the recipients of that direct of your work, and obviously others on the committee, but specifically your work as it relates. I know you and I have talked multiple times, and you were the one that was kind of the critical piece to that. You really pushed that agenda, and we significantly appreciate that. Not to mention the work you've done with Friends of Acton Park. I know that it hasn't always been clean, but at the same time, you've been more than flexible with us. You've been more than willing to sit down at the table with me specifically and go over some of the issues and be willing and flexible to work those things out. I can't tell you from a district perspective how much we appreciate your work with Friends of Acton Park and your ongoing work with them, and our ability to sit down and have very professional conversations about how to move forward. I personally appreciate your willingness to kind of coordinate the LA County side of it and get them to the table for me. So again, that's really been beneficial for us. I can tell you that you've also been appointed as a Board of Trustees liaison for the high-speed rail. We've attended several meetings together, the three of us, and that's, again, been invaluable to hear it from the community side and really organize and try to put people at the table to hear it at the right time, in the right place, and the right venue.
Thank you very much. But as always, besides being very humbled by this kind of recognition, it is all predicated on the team that you have with you. Friends of the library, Friends of the park, we're all part of a team, and every single one of those people have worked just as hard, and appreciate the recognition, and I will definitely pass it on to them.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I apologize, I don't have the actual award.
Oh, good.
Mary ate it. There was a graver issue, okay? So I'm not going to give you something that's incorrect.
Okay.
So I apologize for that, but I would like
Let
to,
me guess,
Mr.
it said
President,
Howard instead of
anybody
Howell.
else, the entire board, if you would you come up and have a photo op with Kathy and this year's 2012 Golden Apple Award.